Hello, welcome to another episode of me trying cakes that are currently trending. And for today's cake, I am genuinely quite excited because it's something I like to do. I don't know, it's not the design that I like, especially because 90% of the cakes I've been seeing is this shape. I am a person who just likes round cakes. I hate shaped cakes because of the curves, but I don't mind heart as much as I mind square cakes. But if you've seen this, you already know what it is I'm about to decorate. It's the trending vintage design cake, and 90% of the cakes I've seen are heart shaped. I've seen a few round ones. I haven't seen any in square or hexagon, but I figured let me do it in the shape that almost every other page or channel. Have I seen this on YouTube yet? Not yet. But every other TikTok or Instagram Reels post I've seen is heart-shaped, so I figured I'll also do a heart-shaped cake. And I actually enjoy piping. I enjoy the way one nozzle can come up with like very many different designs. And I finally get to pick up, you guys see it, my old nozzle thingy. Like if you're an OG baker, you remember this like 33-piece nozzle. What was it even called? A nozzle thing. I got this from Amazon, I think in 2013, and I don't think I've opened this thing since 2015. I have been using my 1M religiously since maybe 2016, 2017. I hardly ever go into this nozzles, like I never even pick them up. But since these designs are what's trending, I'm definitely doing some ruffles. Hopefully I don't change my mind. I don't know if some of the cakes are using a leaf nozzle. I think they are, but I am just going to pipe whatever comes to me. I am excited for this trend because I get to use all the nozzles I have. So many of my nozzles are just in storage because we are currently, like, we've been stuck in a non-border, we've barely been doing cakes that require borders. Personally, I am genuinely excited to be doing these piping decorations, but for sure for today it's not a tutorial. It is just going to be me doing the designs. Let's get to decorating. So I start off with cutting the cake into 3 layers because usually I bake each layer in a separate tin, but I don't even own a heart-shaped tin anymore. I had to borrow a friend, so this is me cutting it into 3 layers. I almost messed up, and then I just layered with vanilla buttercream as I normally would. It's a vanilla cake with vanilla buttercream, so I just did the layers, layered it as usual, crumb coated it, and then did my main color, which was lilac. Always remember to chill your cake between each coat so that the next coat is easier to apply. Normally, I always opt to do my second coat in white so that I can have more white buttercream than colored buttercream, just in case of bitterness. But for this one, I genuinely did think I was only going to do 2 coats because my initial plan was to just have this cake for home. But then I ended up giving it to a family friend. But before I decided to give it out to my family friend, I opted to do 3 coats. But my initial plan was to do 2 coats. That's why you can see I am really trying to force this coat to be tidy. But it didn't work out because I could still see like bits of the cake. I decided to just do a 3rd coat. Reason being, if this cake was for home, this would have been too much buttercream for us. It would have just been waste. But thank God I just decided to do it as I normally would for a cake that I'm selling, because it turned out much neater, much tidier. Once the second coat was set or dry, I did a third coat also in lilac, just to make it tidy, and you could no longer see the cake parts, like the little parts that could still be seen, the parts of cake. So I just tidied it up as usual and then set the cake for close to 30 minutes so that I could be able to tidily pipe my borders without ruining the lilac cream. My first border deco design was definitely doing ruffles, and the ruffles were the one thing I was really excited to do. And honestly, I think I missed ruffling with buttercream, but yes, I really was excited to do the teal ruffles. If you are interested in seeing how I pipe the ruffles, this type of ruffles, I have a video up that I posted some years back about ruffling, and I will definitely link it in the description box and in the card. My next border was definitely to do a shell border, and this is one of those OG, like this is what I remember piping back when I started baking. But I don't have a video on this, but if you guys are interested in me showing how many designs you can do with a star tip, kindly let me know in the comments, and I will definitely try my best to do one video soon and show you how to do this design and so many other designs using one nozzle. At this point, I was genuinely regretting some of my decisions because I piped the minty teal buttercream border, the ruffles, before I did these strings, and I was trying my best not to ruin the ruffles while doing the strings. And for some reason, I think because it's been so long since I had to do one of these designs by myself, I just couldn't get them to stick. So they were either coming out very ugly or just falling off. And also, because I film by myself, no one's there to help me look if I'm actually filming. I couldn't tell that I was actually not recording what it was I was doing using my camera, but luckily I had been filming a time lapse on my phone, TikTok and Reels, so that's what you're seeing on your left, a quicker version. So this part didn't end up being as clear as I would have hoped it to be. The one thing that really helped at this point was the fact that I would chill my cake between each deco. Like when I did the ruffles, I chilled my cake. When I did the shell border, I chilled my cake. Then now when I was doing the strings, even though they kept falling off, it was easy to pick up with a toothpick because my shell border was already set, so I wasn't messing up every time I would pick up with a toothpick. So for this design, if you don't plan ahead like I did, best tip would be after you finish each design, just chill the cake just in case of any messes that might come up. It's easier to clean because once the buttercream is set, the strings, since they're still a little room temp, you can easily pick them off with a toothpick. They won't hold on to the other buttercream. Then I went ahead to do my favorite border. I have no idea what this border is called, and honestly, I only ever do it on using a 1M tip, and when I did it with this number 18 tip, it's so cute. I really wonder why I never use these tiny nozzles anymore. I just did this, I don't know if it's a rope border or kind of a rosette mixed with shell mixed with rope, but it turned out really well, the color combination and just the design itself. Then using the mint or teal buttercream, I initially wanted to do really tiny rosettes with the number 27 nozzle, but I changed my mind and just did stars because I figured I'd already wanted to do pink rosettes, so I just opted to do stars in between, like where the strings meet. Then I did like really tiny rosettes with the pink buttercream with the number 18 nozzle again, and this sealed like my love for this cake because I was doing them in between like two strings that were outer strings, and it turned out really well. Then I grabbed the leaf nozzle, which is number 67, and did the like tiny leaves coming out of the rosettes, and this made the cake look so good. I really liked it. Then I did tiny rosettes and leaves on top of the purple border just to like bring it all together, and honestly this is genuinely one of my favorite cakes to date. Lastly, I added some white pearls, which, considering this is a vintage cake, I don't know if they used to use like decorative pearls or like inedible pearls, or it was just dots of royal icing, but I opted to add just some pearls to like bring the stars to life and like the ends of the rosettes. And when I finished this cake, the one thing my mom said was it reminded her of when she used to knit sweaters when she was younger, and honestly she said she's going to look for a sweater that she did knit for either me or my sister that had this exact color combination, so maybe I do channel my mom all the time. But yeah, it just reminds me of something I would see in like my mom's magazines from back in the day, or just one of the cakes she'd try to decorate for us. This was genuinely the things she used to do to bring it to life, and I'm happy I was able to recreate something that brought nostalgia to her. Finally, the cake is done. Do I like it? Yes. After like 3-4 years of just using one solid color like to decorate your cake, no excessive border decorations, no overworking, like just simply smoothing out the cake and putting toppers. Basically, it's been so long since I typed so much, but I actually really like it. I actually hope this trend stays much longer than all the other trends, and I can't wait to see you guys doing yours. This is my current obsession. My entire saved on Instagram is so many of these designs, and I'm very happy I've done one for myself. But it's such a nice design, especially for Valentine's. I think it's such a cute design, or even just for like gifting your mom. I think it's really cute. Definitely piping these strings, that's what took the longest. Everything else just took quite a short time, like a minute each, but just doing the strings round I think has taken me half an hour in total. But do I regret anything? No, just a little doing double, but I actually like how it turned out. And would I do these strings again? Yes, in fact I was quite tempted to do them again. Well, after I struggled that much, I was very tempted to do more, but then I was like, let me not go overboard and then have to like peel off too much. But I really like it. I hope the photos I take will do justice to how this cake looks, but all in all, I love it. And as I said, I can't wait to see how long this trend lasts and how many of these I end up doing. I hope this is not the only one I'll do. Thank you so much for watching, and I will definitely see you in the next one. Bye.